Hi guys, welcome to a unique video. Today we're going to talk about what Five Nights at Freddy's is. A lot of my friends do not know what FNAF is, so I decided, you know what, I'll make a video just about talking. I'll talk a little fast, so let's start. Probably wondering, why did I bring Chipper and Sons, Lumber Co? Well, this game started the FNAF franchise way back in 2013, as you can see right here. Chipper and Sons was a survival game. We have to plant down trees, do side quests and all that jazz. But people found it to be a little too scary, since just the models themselves and how he animated his stuff was a little scary. So people suggested he should be better at making horror games. So Scott Cawthon eventually made a horror game called Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's came out in 2014. This is where stuff started hyping, cause Chipper and Sons was not really that good of a game. People were hating it left and right. But Five Nights at Freddy's, on the other hand, people loved that game. As soon as it came out, people left and right started playing it. Scott Cawthon started getting a lot of money out of it too. So Scott Cawthon technically just made it as some random person lured kids in. The kids' souls went in animatronics. That was his main idea. Later on, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out at the same year as FNAF 1. Since Five Nights at Freddy's 1 did so well, he decided to make a sequel. This game is where stuff really started getting hyped. This is where Scott Cawthon introduced the 8-bit minigames. The 8-bit minigames are really useful for the FNAF lore. It's a really good idea to not show it on all 3D or real life-ish, whatever you call it, but instead just an 8-bit minigame. So it's kind of hard to tell which is which. From those minigames, it shows you a whole lot of the lore, and most of the lore is really important. But from way back in those days, we didn't really know much about FNAF, so it got us really confused. But it was a really fun game. Unlike the original game where you have to close doors and survive till 6 a.m., this game was a little bit different. You have to shine lights. And throw on your mask to defend these animatronics. This is where you start having a theory of the souls, a puppet, helping the souls come back to life, but in a weird way. The souls eventually possess the animatronics, and the animatronics went haywire, if you know what I mean. Eventually, FNAF 3 got tased and came out. This was a really okay game. People didn't really enjoy it much, mainly because of idea. It's just it did have some crazy lore. There's nothing to do with that. It's just the gameplay itself. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was technically the killer of the kids, and he got spring locked. But to do so, he lured all the FNAF 1 animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, to a room that they cannot go in. It's really confusing because we don't know much about it yet, but yeah, the animatronics for some reason not able to go there, so that's when Purple Guy decided to take these animatronics out. But Golden Freddy did not let that happen. So Golden Freddy jumped out his body as a ghost still, and he lured Purple Guy to his spring lock suit. Spring lock suit was called Spring Bonnie. He's a yellow bunny. He's a yellow robotic bunny with a purple bow tie. Eventually, the spring locks went off, and his body got crushed, just leaving his corpse behind. Somehow, he was able to live. But living, however, was a pain because he had to deal with these phantoms. And the phantoms are technically the ghosts of these robots. But they're not even robots. It's hard to explain. If you want to play FNAF 3 yourself, I think the links may be in the description. Maybe. Don't promise that. Eventually, Springtrap decided to turn this place on fire with the thing. I forgot what it's called. The thing that puts fire in people that smoke with. By the way, I don't smoke, okay? Smoking's bad for you. You should never smoke in your life. No matter how old you are. Like, people start smoking, like, when they're 19. Like, don't smoke it off. Like, it's not okay. Eventually, Scott Cawthon, because FNAF 3 was going to be the last game, but he decided to make one more game called Five Nights at Freddy's 4. This came out at the same year as FNAF 3 as well. But that was kind of worse than FNAF 3. People loved the gameplay. It's just, people thought that was too scary. Because FNAF 3 wasn't that scary, so Scott Cawthon decided to make a scarier game. But this is probably the below scary. You can get random jump scares, and it's just and you have to listen. It's one of those games where you have to try to listen to certain stuff to be able to win. This game was really different though. Except you being in an office all night, you're at a bedroom, checking doors left to right, closet, and behind you. This is where stuff started. This is where stuff started getting downhill. It was just a little too scary for people to play. It's just the thing is, you have to hear for breathing, and if you press the L in an accident, a bursting loud jump scare pops up at you. Just imagine staying quiet. Trying to hear for breathing. You don't hear it. You click on CRL, but it was breathing, but you just didn't hear it, and it just a loud jump scare jumps up at you. That's the point. But the lore, however, was this is a game where the lore started getting a little crazy. I'm not going to talk about the lore. I'm just going to talk about the basics. Well, kind of lore. So there's also 8-bit minigames. Every night you win. Every night you win is another 8-bit minigame. But this time it's different. You're playing as the one called the Crying Child, and living its life, getting bullied by his brother, and being locked up by his room by his dad. Well, we thought. Again, this lore might not be correct, but I'm not trying to focus on the lore much. I'm just trying to, explain what these games are. But again, so something has to be different, and it shows you what happens of the bite of 1987. Well, it was known in 1987, but now we kind of know it's 1983. It's the bite of 1987. This is where the Crying Child got a little too close from the bullies were just messing with him, and they were bullying him and stuff. And they put his head on Freddy's mouth, and the Freddy just chomped his head off. His frontal lobe. It's a little crazy, I know, but it just gets crazier from here. This game introduces the ones called Nightmare animatronics and Nightmare himself. These animatronics have a bunch of lore behind them, but we're not unsure yet. People think that if you want to check out Five Nights at Freddy's 4, if you feel like you're brave enough, try to check it out. These games are really fun. If you don't want to look into the lore, then just don't. This was introduced of the final chapter, considering that this was the last game he would make forever. Mainly because he didn't really want to make any more FNAF games. But, again, fans hold back. And yes, there are a FNAF World game, but we're not going to talk about that, mainly because it's not Five Nights at Freddy's. That's just a spin-off game, where it's just cute animatronics and fights and stuff. And it really isn't the real... it does have lore in it that helps, but that isn't really... it is you guys should check that out, too. The link will probably be... I don't know if I don't do links, but... Never. I think this game came out in 2016. I forgot to put it here. It's called Sister Location, or Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, aka FNAF SL, Sister Location. This game was real unique. You have to actually walk around, but it wasn't like a free roam, but you still had to walk around. But this game was like a bunch of people's favorites, mainly because it was so unique and so special to the others. It also introduced new characters, like this character you see right here on the screen. She's called Baby. There's also ones called Ballora, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and N-Art. It's just the lore behind this is so crazy and so cool. And this is probably my favorites too. This game is like harder than the others though. This game is just really unique, okay? Like if you thought Final Fantasy 4 is unique, this is just more. Plus, it doesn't introduce the 8-bit minigames as much. There are a secret where if you die, you can have like a minigame, and it shows when baby scooped up a kid into your stomach. If you guys don't know what I mean, it sounds silly, but it's actually serious. Yeah. This game, though, is more about the Afton family than horror. This game, however, was just talking about stuff we didn't know, or the Afton family, or just a side pizzeria. The side pizzeria was called Baby's Circus World, or Circus Party. I forgot. Myself. But, since it was called that, when Baby, literally scooped up and, well, kinda killed the girl, the killer, aka Afton, that we know that his name gets introduced later on in the game, is, well, crazy now. Like, it shows the story of how Purple Guy technically. And you're playing as someone close to Purple Guy. Playing as Purple Guy's son. Well, we all know it's Purple Guy's crying child, but back then we thought we were playing as Purple Guy's like friend. The crying child, or the grown-up version or whatever, was put back together. The few words you see before FNAF 4 ends. If you don't know. But Final Fantasy Freddy's sister location was again really unique, and I've been saying it over and over again. This game was introduced by all the animatronics getting together to conform one. And he's called Ennard. He's a mixture of all the animatronics from sister location merged to one. That means all the souls are put together. This is really useful later on in the games. Later, Five Nights at Freddy's 6, aka FNAF Simulator, aka FNAF FFPS. This game, however, was really awkward. This was not that good of the game. Like, it was a simulation game and also a horror game with it. You have to make your own like, it starts off like an 8-bit minigame. Then it starts getting scarier and scarier as the game progresses. The models are awesome, but the gameplay itself is cool and not cool. It's just not the type of horror that people are looking for in the FNAF games. It's a game where you're basically working as a creator of the FNAF thing, and you're just building your own FNAF pizzeria. But doing so, you have side quests, like salvaging some scrap animatronics and trying to survive again. But this time not for 6 a.m. It's hard to explain, but you can check to 2 vents by looking left and right. At the middle, there's a camera, but you can't check on it. There's some stuff you can do, but the main stuff you have to do is a reboot or order or whatever you have to do. Once you're done with that, you can leave. It's a little bit different for the others, right? This was supposed to be the last game, since there's so much animatronics, and all the animatronics have the same souls as the others. Someone decided, Afton's friend decided to, put them all these souls and all the animatronics at one spot, then burn the place down. This will let the souls free. After that, we got FNAF Custom Night, which is sort of canon, not canon. Let's talk about this really quickly. It's about the one you shouldn't have killed, gathering all the ones that you have to deal with. This is technically Afton's Hell and Revenge. Let me just say one more thing before I end this video. Make sure to like, sub, and press the bell. This game, it has so much stuff, but I'm really running out of time. So I can continue later. Peace out. Peace.